For as long as I can remember, my family has operated on a very strict set of unwritten rules. Get married, have children, and carry on the family name. Anything outside of that was considered a failure. As the oldest daughter in a family of 3 siblings, I was expected to lead by example. But life, as we all know, rarely goes as planned. I married young, at 25, to my college sweetheart, Derek. We were madly in love, but after years of trying to conceive and multiple heartbreaking miscarriages, we were forced to face the reality that having biological children wasn't in the cards for us. We discussed adoption briefly, but the emotional toll of infertility had left us both drained, and we decided to focus on building our life together as a child-free couple. My family, however, didn't see it that way. It started subtly, as most things do. My mother would send me articles about fertility treatments and miracle pregnancies. My younger sister, Becca, who already had 2 kids of her own, would make comments during family gatherings like, "You'll never understand this kind of love until you're a parent." My younger brother, Ryan, the family golden child, outright said during one Thanksgiving dinner, "What's the point of being married if you're not going to have kids?" Derek always tried to shield me from the worst of it, but the truth was, the shame cut deep. The final straw came during a family reunion last year when my aunt, after a few too many glasses of wine, cornered me in the kitchen and asked, "If you're not going to have children, who's going to take care of you when you're old?" The room fell silent, and I could feel everyone's eyes on me. I mumbled an excuse and left the reunion early, feeling more alone than ever. A few months later, my family's hypocrisy came to light. Derek and I were volunteering at a local community center when I met Lily. She was 16, quiet, and always sitting in the corner of the room with her sketchbook. It took weeks of gentle conversation to get her to open up, but when she did, my heart broke. Lily had been abandoned by her parents at the age of 10 and had been in and out of foster care ever since. She told me about how she'd been placed with a family when she was 12, but they returned her after 2 years because she was too difficult. She'd learned not to trust anyone and had resigned herself to aging out of the system without ever having a real family. The more time I spent with Lily, the more I felt an unexplainable connection to her. I saw a lot of myself in her, the feeling of being unwanted, of not fitting into the mold others had created for you. Derek noticed it too, and one night, as we were lying in bed, he said, "You've been happier since meeting Lily. Have you thought about fostering her?" I had, but I was terrified. What would my family say? How would they react to me adopting a teenager instead of trying for a baby? Still, I couldn't ignore the feeling in my gut that Lily was meant to be a part of our lives. The decision to foster and eventually adopt Lily wasn't easy, but Derek and I were united in our resolve. When we told my family, their reactions were as expected. My mother burst into tears, crying about how I was choosing a stranger over my own blood. Becca rolled her eyes and muttered something about how this was just another excuse not to have kids. Ryan laughed and said, "You're really going to adopt a teenager? Good luck with that." I tried to explain how special Lily was, how she deserved a second chance at having a family, but they didn't want to hear it. My father, who had been quiet throughout the conversation, finally said, "This isn't what we wanted for you." That hurt the most because it was a reminder that, in their eyes, my worth was tied to my ability to fulfill their expectations. Despite my family's disapproval, Derek and I moved forward with the adoption process. Lily officially became our daughter 6 months ago, and it's been both the hardest and most rewarding experience of my life. She's had her struggles, of course. Trust doesn't come easily to someone who's been let down as many times as she has. But she's also flourished in ways I never imagined. She's joined the school art club, made friends, and even started calling us mom and dad. One of the most profound moments came last month when Lily had a school project about family history. She asked if she could interview Derek and me about our childhoods, and for the first time, I realized that she saw us as her real parents. It didn't matter that we didn't share DNA, or that we'd missed the first 16 years of her life. What mattered was that we chose each other. My family's attitude hasn't changed much. They've met Lily a handful of times, but their interactions are polite at best and condescending at worst. My mother's favorite passive-aggressive comment is, "Well, at least you're helping someone in need." I've tried to bridge the gap, inviting them to dinner, sending updates about Lily's achievements, but their lack of enthusiasm makes it clear they'll never see her as one of us. At first, this devastated me. I wanted their approval, their acceptance of my new family. But over time, I've realized that their opinions don't define me. My worth isn't tied to their expectations. Adopting Lily has taught me that family isn't about blood or fulfilling societal norms. It's about love, choice, and the willingness to stand by someone when they need you the most. Lily has brought more joy into our lives than I ever thought possible, and while my family may never understand, I've made peace with that. This Christmas, for the first time, we're skipping the big family gathering. Instead, we're taking Lily to New York City to see the holiday lights and visit the art museums she's always dreamed of. It's a reminder that we're building our own traditions, our own legacy, one that's rooted in love and acceptance. As for my family, I hope they come around someday. But if they don't, I've already found the family I was meant to have.